the City of Splendors, where many an adventurer gains his fame and fortune, but most die in the gutter. So where we left off with our adventurers was at a tavern in the dock ward called the Mule Skull. And if you remember, there was a storm kicking up. And you were, you just had a pretty intense encounter where you met Siraj the Hunter.
You almost got killed. It was pretty intense. I think I was dead for a minute.
You and Roland both had to make death save rolls, and successfully, thankfully. But here you are, feeling successful, I hope, because it seems you did uncover who the killer was. And anyway, Zaraj has a shot of spirits in front of him. He's looking at it with his fists on the table in front of him. Does everyone see? Did I put you guys on the right map? No, I didn't. Jeez.
I'm looking at the Waterdeep map right now.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's Donovan and Harlow, and Roland walks up with another round of drinks, walks by this commoner and sits next to Donovan. And Roland comments something to the effect of, good thing Zaraj showed up. And he also comments that, wow, if that was the plan all along, really wish it didn't go that far. We better synchronize our plans better moving forward. He comments something to that effect. And Zaraj is sitting there with his fist just sitting on the, resting on the table in front of him with this shot of spirits in front of him. Yes, we'll do the best we can. And then he reaches down and pops that shot of spirits into his mouth.
Well, the least I can do is buy the round for everyone. After all, Roland, you practically saved my life, as did you, Siraj. He's a half-orc?
He is.
You're affiliated with the town guard? Or the town watch, I should say.
Zaraj? Me? Me, Zaraj says.
You're a mercenary.
Like I told you, I work with Dable.
Oh, that's right. You'll have to forgive me. I took a rather... I'm still bleeding, I think.
No apology necessary. And I assume you and I will be meeting more frequently in the future. Now,
Well, if you're a friend of Dable, I'm sure we will. I guess I could get in touch with you through him.
yes.
Oh, good. I owe you a great debt of thanks. So I'll stand up and offer my hairless adolescent hand to this hulking half-orc.
All right. Well, and he does stand up at momentarily after you do and says, "Yeah, I'm about to leave anyway. If you want to travel together, that's fine, but I'm out of here."
What's going to happen with did the town watch come for the body?
It's funny you say that, because as you say that, the doors slam open and a burst of snow flurries and cold air blows in. And Four Town Guard, you can see from your angle at the table. They come in, two of them walk your way, two of them seem to go out of your vision there. What's going on here tonight? The one town guard says. Town watch, rather.
He's doing some work for Staggett, Captain Staggett.
Are you now? Is that what is your work? What is laying out in the street there? All the blood?
Well, most of that blood belongs to me, I believe. But yes, the rest of it, I think, belongs to the dark elf that lays out there. Just speaking to...
There's no dark elf out there. There's just a bunch of blood. But we heard there was an assault happening, and that's why we're here. Were you responsible for the assault?
I was assaulted. So yes, I was the victim of the assault. But luckily I survived thanks to my friend Roland here and the quick work of my new friend Harlow. I'll motion at both of my traveling companions. I'm glad you're here, though. I'd like to make a report, especially if the body's gone. He was out there just a few moments ago.
Okay, and the guard pulls out a notepad and starts writing down. Let's hear what you have to say. And he started writing down. And these two other guards walk behind you. Then they walk up to the bar and they start talking to Jarrell, the bartender that you met when you were here earlier.
I'll tell him everything. Yeah, I did. I remember meeting Jarrell.
Start from the beginning.
I had received word through Captain Staggett that elves, several elves, 3 in total, had been murdered over the past week here in the dock ward. All of them frequented taverns, were killed in alleyways late at night. I took the information that he gave me and deduced. I'll smile at my companions. Through my, I'm sure I'm missing a tooth now, and I'm smeared in my own blood. Quite proud of myself. That it was likely that this would be the place that he would strike next, and sure enough, with the assistance of my friend Roland, and I will mention that this is Roland of the Trollgate, hero of Trollgate. Anyway.
Oh, is it now?
Yes. So using him as bait, we lured this dark elf, the Drow, out, and well. As it turns out, he had found another victim just shortly before we set about looking for him. Sadly, I think that body is just down the alleyway from where you probably saw my pooled blood.
Oh, and the guard whips his head around and says, "What is that smell?" And the guard next to him, you suddenly notice coming through the door are a bunch of halflings. Dressed heavily because it's the long black cloaks on. They're fully dressed, but you can tell they're halflings because they're small. But with the insignia on them, a shovel on their lapel shows that they are part of the Dung Sweepers Guild, and about 25 of them start parading in the door. And with them comes the smell of the sewer.
Oh, that's right. This is a Union Guild Hall. I forgot that.
And the veteran next to where you're talking to nudges with them with the shoulder and with her elbow and says, "Dung Sweepers Guild headquarters is here." Yeah. He says, "Oh gosh, wow." And as you were saying, and they go into some other room.
Well, when we were attempting to lure him out using my companion, Roland, from the Legend of Trollgate, apparently he had already found his victim. There's an elf or a half-elf a short distance down the alleyway. You'll have to forgive me, as I'm still freshly bandaged, I would imagine. Roland looks like he's about ready to bleed out, dude. He's only got 1 hit point, right?
Yeah. Well, and he takes his notepad, closes it, ties it up, puts it in his cloak, and says, "That's all fine and good. I got all the notes, but you're going to have to come with us." And these guards at the bar come back and point back towards the bar and say, "That guy too." Passerby said he saw this one, points at Harlow. This one, and then he points behind the bar and points at and says, "And that one over there." fits the description as well. You're going to have to come with us, folks. And Ziraj, with that, immediately bolts. And he is immediately that far away.
I'm not going to run.
I think I guess I have a pint of ale. I'm going to sort of hunch over and ruffle my cloak a little bit, try to hide
Nice.
behind the patrons at the bar. Try not to look very inconspicuous. Pretend I'm not hearing anything.
Nice. All right. So, yeah, come with us. And then the two other guards approach this cloaked figure behind the bar.
Nobody chases after Ziraj?
No.
No. Son of a bitch.
This guy did step back to take a look which direction he went. And
while he's doing that, I'm going to look at I'm going to look at Rowan and then look at Harlow and say, Harlow, those berries that we gave to Floon, you wouldn't happen to have any more of those handy in a pocket somewhere, would you?
Yeah. So Harlow will pull some of the good berries out and ask how many does Donovan need?
I don't know. I've never had one before. How many do you suggest?
She gives him 2.
All right. I don't know what they do other than that they healed Floon.
Yeah, that's all they really do is just heal you, and they give you energy.
I'll give one to Rowan then too. Nah, you know what, Rowan, he can get his own.
all right. So, Aldous, these two guards step up behind you and say, "Excuse me, sir, you fit the description of someone involved in assault earlier this evening, just out in front of the tavern here. You're going to have to come with us."
Oh, goodness, that sounds awful. But there surely must be a mistake.
If it is, we'll clear it up at the courthouse.
Are you sure? Are you sure this is necessary? My parents, they just own a simple bookstore north of the market. It's called Blackwell Books and Tomes.
He whips out a notepad. Your parents, you say? In what ward?
Yeah. North of the market in Waterdeep.
Oh, nice area of town. Well, sorry to get you mixed up in this if it's erroneous, but and he wraps up his book, puts it in his cloak. We'll clear it up at the. If there's nothing to this, we'll clear it up at the courthouse. If it's okay with you, sir.
All right. There's no reason for me to resist, so I'll come along willingly.
And as you walk, he indicates that you should walk this way towards the front door. And as you walk that way, I assume you're doing? Yeah, he points the direction and you start walking in front of him, I assume?
Yeah.
Okay. He points at these other people that I've just indicated and says, "Friends of yours, then?"
Oh, no, I've never seen them before, though they look like a scrappy bunch of folk.
Describe yourselves, guys. Donovan, describe yourself.
I'm trying to think. About 17, brown-haired, orphan, scrawny, thin, currently covered in dirt and his own blood, bandaged on his arm, hole in his leather jerkin that he's wearing. He does have the basket hilt of a long rapier hangs from a scabbard at his hip, and even through the pain as he sees the guards walking over with you, you can see he cracks a smile and elbows the half-elven man. Do you want to describe Roland too? Oh, I can. I got my picture.
Yeah, Roland looks like an adventurous fellow. He's got several weapons on him. Long green cloak, long beard, long reddish ruddy hair. gentlemanly way about him. He's similarly to you. He's not putting up a fuss. He's like, oh, wow. Unlike you, though, that you'll soon to find out, these guys actually were involved in the assault. So he's, just like resigning himself to being apprehended by the guard here. Roll, when the guard steps up and says, you're friends, and you're like, no, not friends of mine. Roland says, my name's Roland Ballador.
Fervor.
We have a running joke where we can't pronounce Roland's last name. I mispronounced it once, and then I can't stop rolling the whole thing. And then, like, all those movie references where they, like Brett Favre, where they mispronounce his name, or Fletch, where Fletch purposefully mispronounces his name. He's like, oh, yeah, Dr. French.
Right.
So that's a thing I've added, I've latched onto and won't let go like an angry dog.
I love it.
And Harlow.
Harlow, could you describe yourself, please?
Yeah, so Harlow's a halfling, and she has like a greenish tinge to her because she's a druid with a crap ton of spells. She does turn into animals every so often. In this situation, she's in her halfling form though, and she's about 18 and a halfling. And she kind of just...
You don't have to describe stuff that he wouldn't know, just what he sees.
Yeah, she's just there, and she's sticking next to Donovan just because, like, Donovan's kind of like her older, taller brother, because she's also an orphan.
Okay.
That's so cute.
I'll thank her. I'll stuff both of those good berries in my mouth. And then as I'm chewing them up, are they walking towards us with this dark hooded figure?
Yes. Does anyone recognize that picture, by the way?
What?
I feel like it's a Star Wars meme, but I can't tell because I don't have my glasses.
I don't know. Are you talking about the Aldous? How do you pronounce his name?
Aldous.
Wow,
I believe so.
Yep, Aldous.
No, I don't recognize it.
It's Luke Skywalker at the...
Oh, is it really? I didn't even notice.
Cool, so it's a Star Wars meme.
It's the one where he's got his hands like this and the cloak, and he walks into Jabba's thing and starts, the story.
That's an awesome picture.
Yeah. With the theme of new characters, Callista was Donica's second character, and I had to pick a quick image for her, and similarly I just picked a hooded figure that you didn't see their face, so that she could come up with something else after the fact or whatever. But no need, you can stick with that or come up with something that you like better.
Yeah,
so you guys walk out into the frigid, and this storm that was threatening earlier is now getting really bad. The ice rain is blowing sideways, strikes your face, which encourages you, if you didn't already have your cloak pulled up to cover your face, you would do so now, because it's blowing maybe 40-mile-per-hour wind, rain, ice on your face. And you make your way.
I'll grab the guard closest to me as we're moving. I'll be like, hey, this man, he wasn't with us. He's not responsible for what happened back there.
Like I said, we'll clear it up at the courthouse.
I'll look at him, pull my hood back a little bit and look at this unfortunate fellow that's been sucked in. I'm Donovan. What's your name?
Hello, Donovan. My name's Aldous.
Not the luckiest person I've ever met. You stuck out here in the cold with us. Sorry you were sucked into this. Don't worry. None of us are going to try and pin what happened back there in the alley on you.
Oh, that's all right. There's no harm in it. I do have a record of unfortunate things befalling me, though.
With a loud gulp, record, like with the town watch record.
What's that?
With the town watch, you have a record?
Not so much with the town watch.
Oh,
This
good.
is
Oh, good. That would have been most unfortunate.
indeed.
We've been here before.
Oh, you know this place?
Yeah, we were here, I don't know, a few days ago, maybe a week. Had to identify a few gentlemen that jumped myself and Roland here and stole one of his boots. Trying to repress a giggle as I say that.
I don't really say anything, but I definitely have a look of like, oh, okay, these people seem very capable of themselves. I feel a little bit more comfortable.
And Donovan describes this gentleman to you who was involved in.
Yeah, he was one of the ones that took our boots, right?
Anything I pop up on the screen, by the way, you can just click it away as soon as you're done looking at it.
Okay.
He was
so. You guys are in a cell. You make your way to the courthouse, and this was quite a good walk in slippery, especially in the dock ward where it's missing cobblestones. You can't depend on your footing, so it took a little longer. The guards are used to it, so they're prodding you along, trying to be respectful. But they realize they might have the wrong person. They're going on a secondhand, hearsay, essentially. Although it's hard to mistake a halfling the way that's a pretty particular look.
Has Aldous taken his hood down yet?
I think now that we're inside, I'll take it off now that I'm feeling more comfortable.
Is Aldous human?
Yeah.
How old?
Yeah. Should I describe myself? I'm a human. I'm in my mid-20s. Actually, in build, at least from what I see of Donovan, not that much different, although a little bit older. He has dark brown hair, pale skin, and there's definitely a glint in his eye. He seems like he's a very pure soul and has excitement about the world. Although now it's a little dampened.
Is he dressed that it would suggest that he comes from a wealthier upbringing, or is a man of means, or is he dressed kind of like a common folk?
So I would say he's not dressed of an upper class, but he is wearing scholar's robes, which he originally got from a time which he studied at Candlekeep. He was a visiting scholar at Candlekeep. I'm not sure if you'd be able to tell that from the robes or not, but he's wearing some sort of scholarly set of robes.
Is there any insignia on those robes? Would there be anything to actually identify Candlekeep or anything that you were involved in? If not, no big deal. Yeah. Wondering.
Yeah, I would say there would be. Maybe there's a pin sort of tying it together at the neck that is the insignia of Candlekeep.
So Roland says he's been a student at Candlekeep. He indicates. He doesn't point because that's rude, but he gestures. He does this to his own lapel collar area rather. Says to Donovan, the Candlekeep insignia. And I don't think Donovan knows anything about what Candlekeep. But Roland is a. By the way, Roland says that. Aldous, you recognize that this is probably a more worldly man than Donovan might be.
Okay.
And by the way, Harlow is just looking back and forth. Everyone with the conversation. You'd imagine this is even less a worldly person than Donovan.
Did we lose Harlow?
Oh yeah, she's there. Your camera says boing.
Yeah, it's being weird, but
okay.
whatever.
Hold on, let me reconnect real quick. Yeah, it's not working. Sorry.
Do you want me to read that? Do you think that would?
No.
It's probably her because it's coming up like that.
Well, so you're a learned man. That's good. I learned to read and write myself in the third orphanage I stayed in. There was a woman there. She taught me how to read and write.
Oh, that sounds lovely. Literacy is a very worthwhile endeavor.
Oh, yes. You can't get ahead in this city without knowing how to read.
Yes, that is very important.
Do you read the Dock Ward Dispatch?
I'm not sure if I have.
There's a lot of great information in that. We've got a stack of them back at the Yawning Portal. It tells you all about the city, mostly the Dock Ward, but there's some stuff in there about other places. How long are we waiting in here in this room? Because if we wait long enough, I am going to take a short rest because I'm still banged up.
Take a short. I mean, you don't know. You could ask. Well, Roland takes the initiative and walks up to the window where there are 3 little bars, and he says to the guard that he can see just outside. Do you have any idea? And the guard says, depends on when the magistrate gets to it. Could be all night.
1 hour. Yeah, I know. I'm not even gonna wait. I'm not waiting to hear from them. I'm just gonna sit and an hour, at least an hour, and take a short rest. I'm hoping it's not 8 hours, but I'll look over at Harlow. I'll shake out my cloak and fold it up so one of the dry sides is facing upward, and kind of lay it on one of the whatever. Are there benches in this room?
There's not.
All right. Well, then I'll sit on the floor. I'll lay it next to me and tell Harlow. I was like, I know you could probably benefit from a rest as well. We may need your help to get out of here should things go horribly wrong in the courtroom.
Roland follows suit and sits down next to you, leans up against the wall, slides his back all the way down until he's sitting on the floor, and says, that's a good idea. I guess we don't know how this is going to go. And as he's saying that, you hear a familiar voice come through those little bars in the door. Donovan, you in there? And you recognize the voice of... You recognize who it is?
Staggett.
That's right.
You
in there, Donovan?
I am. Well, we are. I'll get up and walk over to the door.
What happened this time?
Well, we followed up, like you had requested, with the murders.
Whoa! Wait a minute. I didn't ask you to follow up on the murders.
Oh no, I misspoke. I mean, you had mentioned it, and in interest of the city and whatnot, I thought it would be a good idea to.
Listen, Donovan, I appreciate your efforts, and yes, we do need help from able-bodied adventurers at this point in time, but I'm going to have to ask you, and he's talking through the bars, I'm going to have to ask you to leave this to the watch from now on. Don't you have other endeavors? You have a new property in the north.
Yes, I do. I suppose it was just some factor of me wanting to impress you. I see the way that you and Otto get on, and, please, I apologize if I've created any confusion or this in any way reflected poorly on you. If myself and my friends, if that all be all, I would ask your forgiveness and allow us to go on our way.
Yeah, I'm trying to clear that up now. Give me some time.
Well, you know where to find me.
And he smiles because it's one of the reasons he likes you. Witty guy.
Well, looks like we're going to get that short rest after all. Let's get comfortable again. I'll sit back down on the floor.
So Staggett steps away from the window, indicating that he's going to get you out of here. So anything you guys want to discuss while you're cooped? Twyla just texted me saying the game kicked her. I don't know. Something failed or whatever.
Oh yeah, she's
Okay.
popped out. She can just tell her to exit completely out and Here, I'll tell you what. Give me a second. Do you want me to pause?
No, I don't care, dude. It doesn't even matter.
Okay.
We can carry it on from here.
I'll mention Aldous. You
Yes.
you grew up here in Waterdeep.
Yeah, I grew up with my parents. They own a small bookshop north of the market.
Oh, business owners. What's the name of Does the bookshelf shop have a name?
Yes, it's actually called the Blackwell Books. It's called Blackwell Books and Tomes. I hope it's okay that I named it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
Okay.
awesome. I don't get much further north than the market, but it rings a bell. I try and get out shopping. We were at a boot store not long ago, replacing Roland's boot. Your folks, so they both still live here in Waterdeep and run that shop. You work there as well.
I'm just returning to the city now. I haven't been back home in a long time. Um, I'm assuming, speaking out of character, I'm assuming at this point I haven't actually gone back home to the bookstore yet.
That's right. So
But yeah,
you took a boat into Waterdeep Harbor,
okay,
and you were instructed to go to the Watchful Order of Magus and Protectors upon
right,
arrival. But at the gate, you asked where are some places you could stop on the way there because the walking is treacherous and it's cold. And the guards told you they were expecting you, by the way, because not many people come in, especially this is late at night,
okay,
which is telling to anyone that is paying attention. The fact that you would come in the middle of the night is very odd, but no one here knows that. But the guards obviously did. But they weren't saying anything. They were instructed to receive you, give you any due courtesies. You had a letter to show any official parties, which I assume you did, and they followed suit. And they pointed and they said, one place you could stop, the first tavern right there, about a block up, is the Mule Skull Tavern. It's clean, it's nice, and you can catch your breath in there, possibly get something to drink. Maybe it's been a long travel. And so the Mule Skull Tavern is the first place you stopped coming into Waterdeep.
okay. Yeah, I'll relay that information to Donovan. I'll say, the Mule Skull Tavern was the first place I stopped at. I'm looking forward to seeing how my parents are doing. It has been a few years. Um, I I was living and researching in Candlekeep um, um, as a visiting scholar, um, researching the ancient artifacts of this realm. I do have some things to take care of eventually in the city with the order, um, but that's actually not that time sensitive. I'm sure I can do it at any moment.
Oh, I can't hear you, Steve.
The mage's order.
Yes, that's right.
You're a mage.
You could say that.
Well, that's interesting. Well met, mage. I'm a businessman, so a lot less fantastic than what you do, but always impressed. We have another mage. I think that she's. Isn't that currently where Callista is?
It is. She's at the.
I know someone there. We met her not long ago, involved in another issue here in the city. So you were outside of the city of Waterdeep.
Yes, I was to the south, in it's sometimes called the Great Library, called Candlekeep.
Oh.
They have a large repository of ancient books and tomes, which they really generously allowed me to use for my studies.
And no cost to you, huh?
No, I'm very lucky in that it was at no cost to me.
Well, you must be smart and well traveled. I'd never, embarrassingly, I'll look around as if there's somebody else in the room. I've never been outside the walls that surround this very city. I mean, one can live their whole life here in Waterdeep and never leave, but I have to say I'm a bit jealous. Hopefully someday I get beyond the wall. But if you're looking, do you live with your folk, or you?
Currently, I actually don't know where I live. I'm hoping that my parents will let me live with them.
Well, if you really want to live with your parents, I might be able to do better.
That might be so.
Well, not that your parents aren't nice folk and whatnot, but I've secured several rooms at a place much nicer than the Mule Skull, and that's not the dock ward. Which section is that? That would be in the castle ward.
What are you talking about? His parents' shop?
No, the yawning portal.
Yawning portal's in the castle ward.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's a beautiful place, and I've got a couple of rooms, at least for the meantime. The group of us we're working on. I'm also an investor. I'm, says the 17-year-old kid. I'm working on a place of my own.
And opens the door as you're talking. Well, you can't leave yet, but you can step out here and be comfortable anyway. And he steps to the side, lets the door swing open, and allows you guys to come out into this area here.
Okay.
Is this the area with the couches and stuff?
Yeah.
All right. Well, then I want to continue my rest out here.
Roland goes out.
I'll kind of let everybody go out before me, since they seemed a little battered, and I'll follow them.
Yeah, come on. I'll just take a seat. I'll just motion at the spot right here next to me. Who's this creepy guy over here?
What he does? You don't know who he is.
Is he chained to the bench, or is he just sitting there?
He's just sitting there.
Okay.
Aldous, are you able to move your character across the out of the room?
Oh my gosh.
Just want to make sure I got it set up right. Okay.
I can tell this is my first time.
No, you're dude.
Fine. That's what this session is for. Make sure we can do everything.
Yep.
All right. Well, there's a well-armored captain of the watch standing in front of the four of you while you sit on these more comfortable seats now, and addressing Donovan, but pointing at Aldous, he says, "A new friend, Donovan?"
Yes, we just met in the cell over there. Well, actually, briefly at the Mule Skull.
Hey, part of the investigation, and he quotey fingers around the investigation.
No, he was just misfortunate enough to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. And listen, I hope I didn't embarrass Captain Staggett. I took it upon myself to do this, and I thought maybe I could make things a little easier if I just mentioned his name. Can I try a persuasion check?
Yes.
I'm going to try and convince this guy that I'm telling the truth.
This is Staggett you're talking to.
I thought it was a... Oh, I didn't... Oh, it is Staggett. Okay, I was looking at this guy.
Yeah, the guard is real big in front of
you.
Yeah. Small, so he looks like...
But I'll try and... you know what, I'll still do that, but I'm going to try and put it on an act for the other guards that are sort of watching there, to try and reinforce the fact that this was all my idea. So, can I roll?
Yep. Please do.
Come on.
Nice. He nods his head, yes. He's agreeable. He gets it.
Oh, cool picture.
He doesn't think you're lying or anything.
No, I'm more... I know he knows I'm full of shit. I want the rest of these guys... I don't want to get him in any trouble if I made it out to be that I was doing the work for him. This was all Roland's idea.
So, Captain Staggett takes off his helmet so that he's not looking through a tiny little visor. And then, did you see the picture I just popped up there of Captain Eustace Staggett? So, he talks to you guys for a little while, and you glean this information from his talking. Not all of it, but Captain Staggett is an uptight guy who helps keep the peace in the dock ward. That's even self-evident. Every shopkeeper, and he'll say, every shopkeeper, guild member, innkeeper, and tavern keeper in the dock ward knows me. Get a lot of respect around here. And Donovan nods his head, I'm sure, as he's saying that. Yes. So he just takes off his helmet, introduces himself, talks to you guys for a while. If anyone has any questions for Captain Eustace Staggett at this time, feel free. Otherwise, you guys are just hanging out here waiting for him to clear up. He indicated, he's telling them, he tells you, I just told them the truth. Got yourself mixed up in the, I don't know, friend of a friend. You were looking into it, sensitive to the murder of half-elves. For whatever reason, you investigated this murder. While investigating it, you walked down the alley. Is that the case? And you happened to see him in the case, in the perpetrating yet another of these murders?
That's accurate. Did they find the body of the elf or half-elf that he was killing when we arrived?
They found that person, but they did not find the drow you spoke of. And who was the half-orc that ran from the mule skull?
Never met him before. He was a benefactor of ours, though. Had it not been for him, that drow would have made short work of us. So him, and I'll motion at Harlow. With the two of them, Rowan and I were nearly dead. Well, actually, I owe Rowan a debt of thanks because I think it was him that initially saved us. But he was an unsung hero. Never met him before. I offered to buy him a drink. He came in, the guards arrived, and he quickly departed. I'm assuming he had...
And I'm sorry, what was his role in the actual assault?
I think he saved us. I was unconscious at the time. I'll point at the injury on the side of my head and my shoulder.
Well, Harlow speaks up because the both of you were unconscious. And she says, yeah, they almost got killed by this dark elf, and the half-orc came along and saved the day. And she raises her hand in the air all excited when she says save the day. And he says, like, Captain Eustace Staggett gets a look on his face like, you are just the cutest.
Hold on, she just popped. Oh, go ahead.
I'm going to say all the while I'm sort of like engrossed and sort of listening to the story. Fascinated.
Cool. Yeah, it looks like she's trying to get back on. Maybe I'm gonna hit reconnect real quick. So if I go away,
just do the fast reconnect.
All right, everyone came back. Is Harlow? Can you hear us? Someone.
I got all this.
It looks like we might be all back.
I got everybody
back, but I don't hear. Turn your microphone on, Twilight. Here, I'll tell her. It doesn't even matter. I'd like to get her on though, because it's fun.
I wonder if maybe this is the video problem you were talking about.
Oh, right.
I don't know. Usually though, if it's a video issue, it's more than one player getting kicked constantly.
True.
I think it's
more likely her.
We've had a lot of issues with Roll20. It's either her. She might not be. Is she using Chrome? Is she using those are the. Should always use Chrome if you can, or Firefox instead of Edge or what do they call Explorer? I think they call it Edge or something now.
Yeah.
You can tell I'm very computer literate, so.
All right, she just bounced back out. That's fine, no big deal. Oh, she's on Chrome, she said.
Okay. Oh, so she can hear us.
No, I'm texting her. That's fine. Let's move on. I don't, we don't need to waste a lot of time.
It's late at night, I'm guessing still, right? Like
It is, and
3 a.m.
snow is piling up outside. So Houston Saget says, even if they let you out of here tonight, do you want to just get a rest on these benches, or do you want to walk through the snow? Basically, the choice is up to you. I'll get you out of here soon, but do we want to leave in the weather? And here, I'll pull up the map. I'll put us back on the map because then you can decide with
Well, if the weather's that bad and they don't have a cart or a carriage that can take us back. I mean, Donovan slept in the holding cells here a couple of times, so wouldn't be my first. All right, what section of the city are we in here?
You are in the. Oh, I didn't mark this, did I? Wait, did I? I should have. You've been here before.
Is it the southern part of the city? Oh, there's the Watchful Order of the Magus and Protectors. I think that's where Aldous was headed.
Yeah, that's way north, but you guys are just south of the Yawning Portal in the Dock Ward. You're about 2 blocks south of the Yawning Portal.
Oh,
I don't have it.
So we're like in this area, or I'm sorry, in this area.
That's right.
Yeah.
No, that's accurate.
Okay. Well, if you can get us out of here, I suppose we can make a short walk. I mean, if there's a carriage about, maybe one of those ones with the cages on the back. Even if it's got a roof. I mean,
no animal-loving person would have a horse working in this weather, but we can walk. I can walk with you if it comforts you. I have to go north anyway at some point tonight, so why not now? Would you like to get on our way? Because I'm basically vouching for you guys, including you, Aldous. Staggett says it's pretty clear. They admit you had nothing to even do with this assault. I don't know why you were included. I think a passerby just said a cloaked figure, and that's why you got caught up in this.
Okay.
But nice to meet you, and sorry it happened.
No problem at all. It was a minor inconvenience. Thank you.
Hey, you stay with us? I'll ask.
Yeah, I will say sure. Why not? I'm heading up north anyway. It's on my way.
I can't promise you your own room. You may have to stay with with one of us. But like I said, it's warm. The food's good. Breakfast is served early, and we may even
where you had the Yawning Portal?
Yeah.
Still can't seem to get home, can you, dude?
I still haven't been there. I recently came into possession of a piece of property that I've never seen. Well, that's not true. I've seen it, but I've never been there.
You lived there in the distant past.
Yeah, I lived there when I was a child. I lived there. And
you snuck in there recently, but yeah, you haven't been there since you've become owner of it. That's true. All right, so where are you going? Yawning Portal? It takes you not long, but longer than it normally would because your feet are slipping, especially while you're in this part of town. The cobblestones are not dependable. You might even twist an ankle. You're taking your time so you don't twist your ankle, let's put it that way, instinctually. But eventually you end up at... We gotta get away from the Yawning Portal. No, actually, I got great maps for the Yawning Portal, so it's great. It's perfect that it's still a home base of sorts. It's fine.
Till I get my place set up.
Oh, wait, before I do, I have a picture. No, fuck that.
Were we there for about an hour?
Longer than an hour. A couple hours. So... it is warm as you walk into the Yawning Portal, and the snow as you open the door, the snow blows in, wind blows in. People look around like, close that door, and you quickly close it, and or one of you does behind you, not needing prompting to close it because that's the first thing you want to do once everyone's in. And the atmosphere is jovial and welcoming and warm, and there's a lot of people here. Actually, there's more than I've even indicated, so let me fix that.
And where is? I don't think Albus is on this map either. Although I think I see
No
one.
Aldous? Okay, let's find out.
There's one of Roland's girlfriends.
Ooh.
All of Roland's girlfriends are here. Actually, see. Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
I'll turn to Donovan and I'll say, you own this property?
No, I own a slum. It's got holes in the roof, open windows, and it's so cold tonight we couldn't even stay there. We'd lose our fingers. But more importantly, I'm friends with the man that owns this property. And,
he indicates to the person right across the bar from you guys right now, with a mustache, and he's been slinging drinks the whole time while you've been walking up here. And he catches Donovan's eye, and as Donovan indicates towards him, like as he says, "I know that guy." Donovan lifts his eye up. Durnan, the guy behind the bar, looks at you, Aldous, and acknowledges you because he knows Donovan is introducing you, kind of in the midst of a busy time of the night. And he nods his head at you.
I nod back.
What do you have, Donovan?
For something strong and warm, and a whiskey. And then I'll look at Harlow. I don't know what Harlow drinks.
Durnan reaches under the under the bar, similar to where he reached the first night when he grabbed that expensive spirit. And he says, "I stocked another one of these just for you guys." And he pulls out a bottle, and it almost like a magic item. It gleams in the little bit of light that's in here. And he puts he puts a bunch of shot glasses up and pours in one swift motion, pours 5 shots of this liquor or spirits. It's brown, and then he takes his forearm and pushes them across the bar at you and says, "Drink up, have fun." And you do see Floon is here across. He's about 40 feet away, but you see Floon, you see Renair, you see a couple of people partying with them, a couple of gentlemen. They're acting flirtatious and rowdy. There's a bard on the stage. 2 bards, 3 strings, if you remember, is one of the people playing, and there's another bard accompanying 3 strings, and there's a bunch of people around the stage clapping their hands and stomping their feet to the music. So it's a very welcoming environment, and certainly you can let your hair down and whatnot here.
Oh, is Aldous? Are you carrying like any bags or anything? Do you have luggage? I didn't even think to ask. Being recently returned,
right? I'm traveling pretty light. Most of the things I'm carrying have to do with my studies, so I have parchment, ink, all in a small backpack. I'm also carrying a light hammer on my belt, and also a light crossbow. Nothing too cumbersome.
Hey, just backing up a second. Those guards would have relieved everyone of their weapons, by the way.
Oh, okay.
And then afforded them back to you upon departing. So just as a format, just so you know how things get handled, like.
Yeah, as soon as they put us in the cell, I just assumed that I was stripped of my weapons.
I didn't cover it, so I just wanted to be particular. Like, it's a thing carrying weapons in Waterdeep, unless you're obvious. Like, Roland would never get stopped because, actually, for one thing, he's like a folk hero around town. So most people But when you carry yourself a certain way with weapons, people either just get out of your way or they assume you're an adventurer, and the city people, and Aldous would know this kind of stuff. He's an educated man. He's read
Right.
stuff about the city of Waterdeep, how things get treated. Adventurers are prized possession, so to speak, of the city. So citizens, people give them a long leash in their behavior. So while the guard would question your average Joe Schmo about carrying a weapon, they probably wouldn't do that to someone like Roland. Now, Donovan is another case. They probably would question him, but Donovan kind of keeps his stuff kind of tucked away. So he's not putting it out on display. He's not making a show of aggression or anything like that. You would have to actually take a good look to see that he's even carrying a rapier, frankly.
Right.
Just to set the scene and make sure.
Yeah, no,
I didn't cover that stuff on the way in.
That's all good. Yeah, I mean, I chose the light hammer because I imagine that I've done archaeology in the past, and maybe it's a tool that I've used.
Yeah, it's like
How
multi-purpose.
big is it?
It's honestly quite small. It's maybe the size of a normal hammer, although it's not as weighted. It's a little bit lighter to be more delicate.
But if you whack someone with it, it'd probably do its intended job, right?
Right. But
cool.
If I am questioned, that's usually the excuse that I give, is that, oh no, this is for my research.
And that's exactly what they said. So what are you carrying that for? Oh, research. Oh, okay. Know nothing about that. So you guys are chilling at the yawning portal, which is delightful.
And we got a shot of some sort of liquid.
And if you try it, you will notice, even if it burns the first time, somehow it is a good burn, and you maybe half of it was like, woo, but then you were like, whoa, wait a minute. And you do the second half and you're like, this is amazing. And within 10 seconds you get a rush and you're feeling like you want to party.
I think immediately when the bartender puts it out, I kind of I'm assuming that Staggett is no longer here. Is he still here?
He is actually, only because I left him on the screen. But
okay.
You're right. He would probably, only because it's so welcoming and he needed to warm himself from the brief walk. That's why he's here. But so I guess you look over him, you acknowledge him. He nods his head.
Okay.
He's probably. Go ahead.
It seems like he is okay with us letting loose a little bit, and as we get further away from the courthouse and as we enter, it's called the Yawning Portal.
Yeah.
I kind of get a little bit less nervous. I had this nervous energy about me, and as soon as the shot is put in front of me, I kind of reach it as if I was waiting for it to come, and I just down the whole thing.
All right.
Well, within 15 seconds, you get quite a rush, and might be the best spirits you've ever tasted in your life. And so you get a look on your face, because when you do something like that, it's startling and pleasing, and you get a pleased look on your face. Durnan recognizes this look and says, that, my man, is what you feel when you drink 150-year-old spirits.
And I'll say something to the effect of, oh, they did not have spirits like this in Candlekeep.
This is the guy you saw on the way in, by the way. I want to just show you this picture. It's a kind of a changing of the guard. Not the person you saw the last time you walked in here. It was Otto, actually. It's a new guy manning the door at the Yawning Portal.
I'll ask Durnan, who is it took Otto's job?
His name is what's his name? His name is Yanni.
I can't let him pay for another. What's he pay for this? For these bottles? Some expensive bottle of spirits. Go for it. I think I have something here. Here it is. Wines, ales and beers, ciders, wines.
Is this in Aurora's
Yes.
goods book?
Yeah.
You know it's expensive. You know it's beyond. This is friendship sharing. This is not a patron walked up to the bar and asked for a shot of spirits. It's probably beyond whatever is quoted in Aurora's book there. You know it's expensive. Probably, to a person that appreciates this stuff, maybe priceless. Who knows where you would get this kind of drink?
I will say to Durnan, while I'm not gonna, in that case, I'm not gonna offer to pay for the bottle, but I'll thank you very much, Durnan. It is even better than it was the last time you poured it. And then I'll push my empty glass up closer to him.
He says, "Damn right it is."
Aldous is a new friend of ours. I know since Otto since Otto's not here, I'd offered him Otto's bed for the night at least, and I have to start paying for the rooms. I know you're out. I've come into some coin. I want to pay for the rooms, and for Harlow, myself, Aldous, and Roland, it's the least I can do. So
Donovan, until we have people renting the rooms, they're yours. Don't even worry about it. But trust me, if a tab needed to be tallied, I would be doing that for you and informing you of its tally. So don't worry about it, my man. And he pours another round of those shots, same way he did before, in one swift motion, pours in every glass without stopping, and then pushes them forward on the bar with his forearm. Drink up, my man. Tonight's a good night. We have to stay warm with all the weather out there.
And this is the right thing. And third one, I can feel my toes again.
Roland says he's going up to his room. And then Harlow also says, yeah, not my scene. I'm uncomfortable. I would like to go up to that. Are you there, Harlow?
Yeah,
Oh, she's back.
We're everyone's partying.
I know.
No, Harlow can't leave.
I was just speaking for you because I figured you would be uncomfortable amidst all these tall people. Although I don't know. Speak for yourself. Since you're on the scene.
I mean, honestly, I would say she'll probably just turn into a guinea pig and start messing with people by using her telepathy. But I don't know.
Turn into a guinea pig. I'll put her on the bar next to a bowl of almonds.
I love that.
Cool.
Donovan looks out for you.
Like,
hold his hand and turn into a guinea pig?
Yeah, and then she's just gonna use her telepathy to mess with people because that seems like a great idea.
So you have a guinea pig in your hand right now, Donovan. What are you gonna say to whom, Harlow, with your telepathy? Wait, is it telepathy? Is that what it's called?
It's silent speech, but it's the same thing.
Okay.
Well, I guess first she should talk to her new friend and
Go ahead, do
introduce
that.
herself to her new friend.
Go ahead, do that.
Yes.
So,
Is this telepathically?
yeah. So
Okay.
you can hear me, but you can't talk back.
Okay.
So, I'm Harlow, and I'm a guinea pig, and welcome to the group. We're a bunch of weirdos, and, we're all pretty cool, though, and we're a bunch of weirdos, but welcome.
Well, thank you, Harlow. You have an amazing gift. Where did you learn how to do this? Or maybe I'm just thinking it and you can hear it, not
Yeah.
Actually, no. Her ability does not allow you to communicate.
Oh,
that.
okay,
So
okay.
If you try
So
that,
maybe I think it actually
So,
works.
like,
I took the second shot, again, very eagerly. I'm already feeling very uninhibited, and I'm sort of just talking to myself,
I mean, I can hear you, so, like, I can respond, but you just can't. Like,
I'm
you
just
won't
sort
know
of-
that I'm responding.
I'm just sort of talking to the air,
So everyone's just disoriented, I guess, which is kind of similar to the last response Harlow got when she used that ability, unannounced. Steve,
She
I
likes
love
to
that
do that.
picture of Harlow, by the way. That's amazing. That's a really cool. And is that
Yeah,
a
it's
likeness
awesome.
of the actress as
Yeah,
well?
yeah, it's totally.
Yeah,
I
it does
figured
look like
Good
Zendaya.
job, dude.
that's a painting of Zendaya.
That's so
Oh,
cool.
wow.
Love it. Love it. All right. Well, you guys are partying.
We will. I'll get Lyston. I'm gonna wait till for the area around us to kind of thin out a little bit here. I want to take a look now since I haven't had a chance. I'm gonna send you a picture if I can email it. You don't need to pull it up or anything. I just want to show it to you. I'm gonna look at this weapon. I've seen them in the dock ward. I would imagine they're a favored weapon of sailors. Yeah, but I want to take a look.
You're gonna pull it out in the middle of the bar.
Well, that's why I'm gonna wait until there's a time. I mean, if we've been sitting here
it's getting
drinking
more
for
and
an
more
hour.
packed in here.
Oh, really? Oh, then I
Yep.
won't do it here. Actually, let's get a table. We can people watch from over here. I'll scoop up Harlow and the bowl of nuts and motion to Aldous. Come on, I'll motion and start walking towards this table over here. Are there any waitresses moving about?
You see Bonnie walking around.
I'll stop Bonnie. If you could let Dernan know, we're gonna just grab this table over here in the side here. Just a little bit of privacy for a few moments.
Grab whatever you want. I'll be around. What do you need? And she motions to you as well. You see this person just popped up next to you.
She looks familiar.
Taking a while to render.
No, why do I know her?
You know her because she is Dernan's bar, bar back or waitress, whatever she needs. She does that.
Right.
When you were in the back room, she was the one tending to you guys all day. She's just a nice person that works here. You know her.
What was her name?
I've seen her many times. Bonnie is her name.
Yeah.
So you're taking the table. You moved over. You moved everyone over. Good.
Yeah. Did Roland went up? He went up to bed.
There were people at that table, but you just kind of nudged them out, I guess.
Oh, they were looking like they were getting ready to leave.
Nice, strong Donovan. Donovan gives them the eye. Oh, it was young. It was young people actually. You see this person with a mask on,
Jeez.
and you see this person with a toy sword. They are 13, maybe years old. Donovan shoos them away. You've seen them before, Donovan, around town. Last time you remember seeing them was at the Castle Via throwing snowballs at each other.
I'll reach into my purse and do they look like they got any money, or are they like street folk like me?
They are urchins for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say they both look a little unwashed and dirty. I'd like to rent your table. I'll say as I'm indicating for them to get up. I'll put Harlow down on the table.
You fishing through your pocket, and they stand. They were about to run away, but they see you fishing through your pocket, and they look from your eyes to your pocket to your eyes to your pocket a couple of times, and then they stand there waiting to see what you're about to do.
I'll pull out two dragons, and I'll take one, hand it to the girl, and put the other one in the boy's hand. Get yourself something to eat, something warm. Don't sleep on the street. Stay
The
in
one with the mask says to the other one holding the toy wooden sword, says, "It's gold, Nat. It's gold." And they immediately run, and they are gone.
That's what I would have done a year ago, 6 months ago. So we'll sit at the table. I'm going to sit against the wall, put Harlow on the end of the table there, clear a spot, wipe off any nut shells or whatever's laying on the table, and then I want to pull out this pistol and just check it out. The powder bag and the pistol, it's all there.
Yep.
It doesn't look like the guards took anything out of it.
took anything out of the ammo pouch.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at like the powder bag and stuff. Like I know that this. I mean, it's not super common in
No,
Waterdeep,
these
but-
are rare weapons, actually. So you explain to Aldous what you're doing, because you see him pull out.
I sent you a picture of it, by the way, if you do want to, or what I pictured of it looking like.
So text or email.
I emailed it to you. So, well, you're a mage, Aldous. Perhaps you can tell me something about this. The drow that the guardsmen were so concerned about earlier, the one that I think is dead, so unless he wasn't alone or we were mistaken and he was dead.
Aldous, you know about this advanced technology of weaponry. It is a gun, a pistol. Here, I can pull it up. Go ahead. You keep talking. I'll pull it up. And I'll show it to him.
So anyway, here this dark elf, he nearly ended my life with this very weapon. When I thought he was dead, of course, it was the first thing I relieved him of. Left his purse, but I took this. I've seen pistols before, but I think there's something special about this one. The ones I've seen look almost like a hammer with a pipe attached to it, but this one's much more elegant. I'm wondering if it's got some magical properties, or it's magical in nature, or perhaps I'll put the powder bag along with the shot as well on the table. Maybe if you could take a look, maybe you could tell me what your thoughts are. I'll slide the piece over to him. I know it's empty because he nearly killed me with the last shot.
I'll sort of reach my hand to pick it up, and before doing so, I'll just ask, "May I?"
Oh yeah, of course. Yourself.
I'm overly polite.
Oh, yeah. Appreciate it.
And I pick it up and I inspect it, and I say something to the effect of, "Oh, fascinating. The filigree work is very unique."
Ooh.
I'll say something to the effect of, I've read quite a bit about pieces of weaponry like this, but haven't actually seen it in person. Should I do like a wisdom check or something?
Sure, do a wisdom check.
That's a D20.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Wait. Before you roll.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, this is good practice.
Okay.
Highlight your
Yeah.
token so that you see the three
Oh,
little.
right.
And then after your token's got the little circles around it, the 3 on top and 2 on the bottom, then go to your character sheet if you have it up.
Right.
And then if you have Arcana, or if you have, I don't know if you have Arcana or not. Let's
I do have let me see. My Arcana is 5 bonus.
So either that or, well, I don't know, whatever you can pitch to whatever.
He's got Arcana. That's probably the biggest one.
Yeah. I also have History, but I think maybe Arcana is better for this.
So if you go
Since
to
we're
your
looking for magic.
Yeah, that's why I figured you'd be the man to talk to. So if you go to the skills and you see Arcana, just hover over Arcana, click on Arcana, and your roll should come up in the in the chat.
Okay. I'll advantage normal roll or advantage?
No
Oh,
advantage.
yeah.
Just to play for it.
Advantage.
Play with it. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm glad you asked.
Oh, see, you know what you're doing better than me.
Oh, really?
He is
Yeah,
on point. for
you're right,
sure.
dude. Yeah, you know what you're doing. 22.
22. So
That's a good roll.
not only do you know this is an advanced form of weaponry, you know this is this particular design would have been made by and for drow soldiers, drow elves. And when you look at the barrel, you notice there is something that indicates that there was poison involved in the projectile that came out of the barrel of this weapon. You know that it has been fired recently. You look at the bag of ammunition that he also proffered, and it matches up with what was fired from it recently. And
What's in the bag?
I believe it's 20. Here, actually, let me get specific. I'm going to pull up the module on that. Four packets of gunpowder and 20 pistol bullets.
Mm.
And it says the poisonous pistol, actually. Doesn't say the ammunition was. That's weird. But that's how it's worded in the module.
I
so-
did look up some stuff about it. There's a couple
Okay.
different ways that
Cool.
it's described. It wouldn't doesn't really matter for Donovan.
Well, share it with Aldous. What would he know? Because he with a 22, he's obviously run across this information in his studies, so he knows everything there is to know about this pistol. What else did you dig up?
Well, what I've discovered, what I think the consensus was, is in order to not make it too powerful of a weapon, they essentially said that the shot is poisonous, not the pistol.
Okay.
Okay.
So, because drows are fond of dipping their weapons in poison, their quarrels, arrows, swords, they're big poisoners. So, so the thought is that they in some way were able to manufacture these poison shot. Other than that, I think the pistol, because it has according to what I found, it said it looked like a +6, which would indicate that it's magical. Or now, it's probably it's probably not. It's probably because I'm looking at my dexterity. My dexterity would make it +4, and that drow is probably a gunslinger or something like that, which would give him an additional plus. So it's probably just a finely crafted pistol, drow elven pistol, and magical smoke powder, and this and these poisonous shot is what the only magical thing. There might be, there may be some magical nature. It's probably more likely like herbal in nature as far as the manufacture of the. But I think the smoke powder does radiate magic, or that is magical. There's gunpowder, there's smoke powder. They work similar ways. There's two different things, and from what I read.
Cool. Thank you for looking into that.
They're similar, but in the drow's case, they use the magic version, which would be the smoke powder, not the gunpowder. But from what I think they're pretty much operate the same way. It's probably just like the poison. I think it's just what drow have access to, and in Waterdeep you can actually buy gunpowder, which I think operates in much the same way. It's just not magical in nature. And I think the smoke powder is a little bit more lethal if you have like a big pile of it and put it in a bag, light it, throw it into a room or whatever. It's pretty devastating in large quantities, but anyway.
I'll sort of as after I examine the pistol a little bit, I'll put it down and I'll say poison. Wouldn't expect anything less from a drow.
Nice.
Certainly looked the part.
I'll sort of comment on like the metal work. I'm really fascinated by that, but I guess it doesn't really seem like there's much magical going on with the pistol itself.
Correct.
Okay.
So you see a
Thank you,
you
Albus.
see another
Of course.
bard or someone take the stage.
Oh, I saw Volo here the other night. I'll tell Aldous in an attempt to impress him. Volo, he was here. Volo, Volo's guide to Waterdeep, Volo's guide to Faerun and monsters and whatnot. He was here. He may be here later. He might even be here now. This place is so big. I'll look around and see if I can see him.
Are you sure?
I never met him before the other night, but yeah, this place. They even say that center stage there, where that bard Three Strings has been playing, that there is below that is the actual portal, hence the yawning portal.
Wow, I sort of am just like gleaming. I feel very lucky that I've stumbled upon this group of adventurers. I feel very lucky.
When you look over there, guys, well, Aldous wouldn't recognize it, but Donovan speaking to Aldous, points over to the stage, referencing what is beneath that stage, and you see Suki is walking up onto the stage and takes out her DOS lute and starts plucking along with three strings and this other unknown bard. And the crowd gets even more engaged and clapping and stomping their feet.
Tiefling's a friend of ours, I'll tell Aldous. Just a little quirky, but a friend.
Yes, you certainly seem to have a diverse group of friends.
I do seem to have collected a few friends since I have. Oh, well, my pleasure to add you to the list. Hopefully for a long while.
Pleasure's mine.
Yeah, I've been thinking about branching out beyond the Dock Ward Dispatch. Maybe you could recommend a good book after tonight's celebration.
Oh, I would love to discuss books.
And right behind you, you hear the voice of Floon, and he puts his hand on your shoulder, Donovan, and you would know that even his touch, somehow, this dude, his presence is so magical. In fact, you sensed he was coming up, like people say, Floon, Floon, Floon. You start hearing his name before he even shows up. You turn around and you see him, and just the most, more attractive than the most attractive elf you've ever seen. This guy is just a beautiful person, and he brings whatever that is, that when you consort with a beautiful person, whatever that does to you, you feel that right now.
I'm gonna be Flynn.
Wait, where the hell are you? Oh, you're at the table. So he doesn't put his hand on your shoulder. He walks.
She's a guinea pig on the table right now. So you got a picture of Flynn? Oh, that's a new picture.
Yeah.
Well,
They didn't actually publish a picture of Floon, so that's what we're going with.
What about the one I sent you? That one was awesome.
Oh, what did you send me?
I'm just messing with you. I did send you a picture, although I like this one. Yeah, I sent you a Floon picture.
Someone published some pictures for personalities, so I grabbed this one.
Mm-hmm. He's got a big chin.
He said, so regardless of the picture,
Floon,
Aldous, picture the most beautiful human being you have ever seen in your life. Like, it makes you, whether, however you feel about beautiful people, regardless, he is so beautiful, it makes you feel a certain way. You're like, oh, wow, like, that dude. And you're not surprised to see people clamoring around him and calling him back. Like, he walked over here from somewhere else, and they're like, Floon, come back. Let's drink and marry some more. You hear people shouting from across the room. And he motions over at Donovan. Oh, you missed out on quite an experience yesterday with at the Castelleter Via with those griffins. Wait till I tell you how that went, Donovan.
The griffins were there?
The griffins were there, and we rode the griffins. I had to push a small child off to get my place in line, but I did it.
You rode a griffin?
Rode a griffin around the skies above Waterdeep. It was amazing.
Remind me again why didn't... Well, let me tell you about what I did.
Tell me why you did not come.
Well, I didn't want to miss the opportunity to be mugged, shot, nearly killed in a dirty alleyway and covered in filth, arrested and placed in a holding cell at the town watch for just up until about an hour ago. I mean, how often does that happen?
Oh, my man.
Yeah.
Well, good to have you amongst the living, my friend. Don't get mixed up in that stuff anymore, and stay safe. Who's your new friend? And he looks over at Aldous.
Aldous is, he's from a family here in Waterdeep. His folks, they own a bookstore up near past the marketplace. Aldous, this is Floon Blagmar.
He reaches out to shake your hand, Aldous.
I reach out as well, kind of tentatively. His presence kind of is almost intimidating.
It might be, yes.
And shake his hand very politely, and I'll say, Aldous Blackwell, nice to meet you.
He mirrors your shake, whatever it consisted of. If it was weak or strong, he mirrors it. You can tell he is adept at social behavior. Rarely says the wrong thing. Always has something, a smile on his face, and he seems very kind. He reciprocates the niceties. Says, "Well, it's very nice to meet you, Aldous, and you're among good company if you're among friends with Donovan. Um, we've done a lot of partying together." And he winks over at Donovan. Uh, good to have you. Good to have you along.
Well, that's good to hear.
Renair's here. Then he starts talking back to Donovan. Renair's here. A couple other friends of mine. So let me know. We're talking about going to an after party somewhere tonight. So if you're around later on, give me a wink.
We will. Yes, we will. I'm
And
feeling
he makes it
better.
nice. Oh, he points at your shots. He says, "Oh, drinking the good stuff still, I see."
That's why I'm feeling better.
I'm gonna have to talk to Dernan about that. And he nods to Aldous, nods to Harlow, and says, "Well, very well met, and see you later." And he moseys in through the crowd, starts pays attention to everyone that acknowledges him, is very good at saying just the right thing so that he can move on to the next person. He doesn't get dragged down into any specific conversation unless he wants to. It appears and you just look at him as he walks through the crowd and how he carries himself. He's just very adept at this social behavior, this Floon character. And then, you guys are sitting there discussing whatever you want to discuss.
Well, I'll sort of make a comment. I'll be like, wow, must be nice to be that pretty.
Yes, it opens a lot of doors for him. Luckily, I try and sneak in behind him. Usually they hold the door for me, too. So when he says we drink together, what he usually means is that I'm the one that carries him back here or back to one of his many flats. He's got a lot of friends throughout the city. But he's a good man to know. And actually, I have him to thank for the property that I inherited, we'll say. I'll show it to you. Hopefully, the weather's kind of for shit, but once it gets a little bit warmer, I'm sure there's a pile of snow in every bedroom right now. Last I was there, several of the windows had been broken open and there were holes in the ceiling, but we'll get there. He's a good man to know. I'm glad you got a chance to meet him. He's got many friends here in Waterdeep. Ah, Suki!
Hi, Donovan.
Suki, you look ravishing.
I left you a letter. You were supposed to stop by. Why did you not?
Oh, I was in jail.
In jail? Oh, my.
Yes, Rahua was just a big misunderstanding. But on the brighter side of things, I did get to meet Aldous. Aldous, this fair tiefling maiden is Suki. We've had some adventures ourselves, haven't we?
A bit. Nice to meet you, Aldous. And she does a flourish. She has a lute on a strap that holds it to her person, and so she looks like a musician. If you didn't notice, she had walked from the stage. Mm-hmm. You might not have noticed because your back is to her sitting in this stall, but she says to Donovan, I asked a friend about these dreams I was having. You remember the dream, right?
Yes, the one where I was cursed. I remember it well.
Well, my friend Sorrow told me that it is not untypical for tieflings to be charged with the escorting of certain individuals or a leading them, sort of. Anyway, my friend Sorrow told me that it is not uncommon for a tiefling to have these types of dreams, And when they do, it indicates that they are connected to this certain individual, maybe only for a moment. So our dealings together could be, the purpose of that dream could be already resolved for all I know. She indicated that possibly I was having this dream because I was going to meet you in the future and then possibly introduce you to someone. And maybe it's totally possible that whatever was supposed to occur has already occurred in terms of my introducing you to someone or keeping your attention for a period of time. I don't know what it is, um, or if that game is still at play. But I did have a subsequent dream and heard a certain word uttered. Would you like to know what that word was?
Yes. Yes, please.
And she looks over both shoulders and then looks back at you right in the eyes and says, and her voice gets unnaturally deep. And she says, Ashiba. And then she starts laughing in her regular tone. I have no idea what it means, but it sounds funny, doesn't it?
Donovan will gulp and finish the drink that's sitting in front of him.
Aldous, you've heard that name before.
Yeah, I'm wondering if maybe I recognize it.
Yes, you do. It is a dark god or goddess, the name Bathsheba. It is the sister of the goddess Tamora. And there is a lengthy story behind that you recall in an instant. But that's what you hear her say. And she says, anyway, that's what I wanted to tell you. I've been playing. I wanted you to also visit me because I've been part of the orchestra pit in a play. It is at the local opera house. So please stop by. I want you to see it.
Send tickets. Wait, and my friend here, I'll pet the guinea pig sitting on the table and then place it on the seat next to me. This is Harlow. Harlow, this is Suki. And I'll motion at the tiefling from the guinea pig.
And she gets real giddy and starts guffawing at the guinea pig, saying, oh, how beautiful, how cute. I love that little creature. What did you say its name was again?
Well, it's not an it. It's a her. This is Harlow.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's all right. Harlow. I look at Harlow. Come on, Harlow. She thinks I'm talking to a guinea pig.
Harlow turns into a halfling as this is going on.
Boink. Oh, wow. Well, pleasure. And she does a flourish, bow and curtsy. Pleasure to meet you, Harlow.
Pleasure to meet you too.
Anyway, I'm going to go back and play with 3 strings, but do see me at the opera house.
Of course.
We are rehearsing for a play, a musical of sorts called The Blood Wedding. It's wonderful. And I'll be playing in the orchestra pit. I will send tickets along.
Yes, send tickets. I just recently procured some finer garments.
And she walks away while you're talking.
Yeah, that's.
And she makes it. You see her
kind of how she is.
Through the crowd real adeptly. She also knows how to make her way through a crowd, and almost instantly she's back up on the stage, and she does like a 1, 2, and a 1, 2, 3, 4, and starts playing in with the other bard, and the person that Donovan pointed out was 3 strings on the stage. This is 3 strings.
He's actually pretty good.
This is the other bard.
Okay.
The Yawning Portal's like a pretty hat-and joint.
Yeah.
Hey, I got to do a potty break, so
Bio break?
You know what? It's almost 9 o'clock. Why don't you hit the unrecord button, and we'll call it a night, and we can talk about whatever we want to, but we'll wrap it for the night. I got to do a potty. So I'm gonna ski. If you guys are here in 3 minutes, I'll see you in 3 minutes. Otherwise,
I'll
have
be
a great
here.
night. All right.
I'll be here. Cool.
I'm just gonna go potty. I'll be right back.
All right.